Call the meeting to order. It is now 5:32. Good evening, everyone. It's good to see everybody's smiling faces for the start of our budget year. Hopefully this year will be a relatively smooth one in comparison to last year. The select board's already started to approve budgets. They had asked if we would do some tonight, and we are very unprepared, and I have some things that I would like to make us more prepared so we can put them up on the screen and read. As for tonight's agenda, we have one transfer that we have to go through. We also have to go through the minutes, and I just want to kind of enter in a resignation from John Bartels that took place in November. John has moved on to the Central Berkshire Regional School District. So he's over there working on a school committee, and I think he's working on the school building needs, but I'm not positive who's talking about that part. So John has kind of moved over there, so we'll pass that. That's just going to end up in our records for 2020. So let's first take up our minutes. Everyone had a chance to take a few minutes to read down through them.
It's everything I remember.
A while ago.
Yeah, well, be probably a little more on top of getting those out to everyone in advance via email.
All right. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the Finance Committee meeting of Thursday, June 26, 2019.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the minutes of the Thursday, June 26th Finance Committee meeting as written. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That is unanimous. Thank you very much. So the next item will be a transfer. Yeah, it's under capital projects.
I remember how to do these.
Mr. Walto's gonna miss the meeting. Something that Sadie's here. Sadie, do you know anything about this, or?
Well, if you notice, this is from our computer department chair, or not chair, but department head. And the assessor's office has an outdated server. It's 2008. There are no more security updates for it as of January 14th. We didn't realize that the server was not going to be available for updates anymore, although that's the same reason we changed our server like a couple of years ago. So this appropriation never got made because we didn't know that server was going to not be able to be served anymore, let's put it that way. So this is to purchase it, a new one. It's to purchase the installation of it, and also, like the server that I had, the program that she runs has to be put on that server, and there is a cost to that. So the total amount is $8,135. You can round that to $8,136 if so choose, because we don't do pennies in budgets.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. No.
It's round to the nearest $10 if I could, but I can't. I guess that's not a good
So I'm
thing.
trying to find.
Whatever you want to do.
It's a capital project?
It's going to be in the capital project account because it's not part of,
There's
it's not
no-
part of an operating
No
budget.
operating, okay.
So,
Yeah, it wouldn't show up on our spreadsheet here
Okay.
that I know of.
no, 932s do not show up on your spreadsheet
Right.
because right here, so where it's going to show up is on page 3, but only when it's the 21 budget you're looking at. Right now,
Right.
you're not looking at that.
Right.
So it's going to show up on page 3 as other warrant articles.
Other warrant articles.
Yeah. And then I think also on page 4, under particular purposes. Those where those kinds of transfers show up.
Okay.
So when we make the motion,
Can I back up on that first?
Certainly.
That's a transfer only that goes to town meeting, that goes page 3 and 4. You're not gonna see it on this sheet. because it's a reserve fund transfer.
Right, that's right,
Sorry.
that's right.
So it's in the 20 budget now,
So this will still have
and
to
it's
go to
just gonna get
town,
moved down to the capital projects part.
and it'll be a town meeting, on the town meeting.
There won't be town meeting vote on it. This, you're voting from your reserve fund
Oh,
to do
okay.
this.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
what we're-
it's a reserve, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, what we're doing is we're
No,
making sure that capital
Only
project,
town meeting
this
votes go on.
932,
Yes.
what we're doing is we're making sure there's enough money in
So
that
we're
to
just
draw
taking out
from.
of reserve.
They've already expended all the
Transfer
funds in that capital projects account,
And putting it
so
in
we
the
need to
wind.
replenish it.
Right.
That's-
well, there was no
Kinda simple.
capital
There
project
wasn't any-
for this.
Sandy said there wasn't any
It's
for this,
brand
so-
new.
Oh, I thought, like, for some reason I had it in my head that we
There-
had something else going on with the.
That was somebody else's server, mine. is-
Oh, okay, all right,
Right.
cool.
And so what is the balance currently? in that?
65,000 as was what appropriated at town meeting
Yeah.
for FY '20.
Yeah, after,
And we have not used any of that yet. That's our first use.
Okay, thank you.
Is reserve fund 132?
yes.
yes,
132.
132.
which is on page 2 of
Yeah.
this sheet.
Just want to make sure I get the right, yeah.
Yes. But any transfers from reserve fund to the general fund or the capital projects fund does not make it to here. Only the original 65,000 makes it on this sheet.
Not the individual.
Yeah. Any town meeting vote is what comes on this sheet.
Right, as far as approving the budget for a reserve fund budget.
So
Yeah.
we would
yes,
have, that's
right,
why I said to
right.
you, why I wanna
But we
keep a
have to-
separate sheet for all this
Right.
stuff that
Right.
doesn't get
Some-
recorded.
Somewhere we have a balance for what our reserve fund is.
Correct.
Right.
And it's right
That's
now.
not showing up here anywhere.
Well, that
No.
won't show up in this,
Right.
this is, this
Right.
here is what you have in your hands today.
That's
Is
what
the
makes up our
the
budget.
finalized, that's the finalized spreadsheet
Right.
for 2020. So
Right.
Sandy is kind enough, but it's a little too big to send everyone. But once a month, I get a spreadsheet on where we're spending and how the spending is going.
You get an expenditure report.
Yeah, and that's if we could make that, if we had the capability of making that a PDF, I could get it to everybody, because it would be it wouldn't be a big file, but if I were to try to scan all of those and send everybody, it would be, you'd all need your own thumb drives just to carry the thing around.
It's 17 pages.
Yeah,
So
so.
which can be
17.
double-sided.
Yeah, I know, but it has to do more with, but at any rate,
But by the same token, there is a
is it necessary?
reserve fund that we used to track as far as a running balance.
Yes,
Yes,
Terry
that's
kept
what
that
Terry
spreadsheet.
kept it, I'm sure
Yes.
Karen is
And
keeping
then,
it.
Yeah, right. Let's get Karen through one phase at a
So
time here.
for our
Don't-
next meeting, we'll have an update on our reserve fund balance, so
Right.
we'll- just so we know
Exactly.
where we are.
We'll have that and then I'm gonna start tracking.
Yep, perfect.
I also have that in my accounting system.
I have no doubt.
Oh,
Yeah,
Check and
that's in
balance.
my, that's in my.
so if she has it, then,
You
Because
don't-
somebody's
I
gotta
can-
check me, and
Yeah,
I've gotta
it's
check.
a check and
what-
balance, Karen.
Right.
I think that, like Terry used to keep it
Yeah.
at a running balance.
I love you, Jeff.
So,
One
mean,
more
that's
thing
how
we
we-
need to look at.
That's how we pick
Okay.
up if something
All right.
gets missed.
Right.
That's
And
right.
Okay, yeah, no, it's true. All right.
And well, it might be reflected in these minutes if we, so we know we have 65,000, and if we appropriate the requested, then we know what the balance is in
Mhm.
minutes.
And this is new for this year, so it's a 65 plus this, so we
Right.
can
Right.
start
Yeah.
tracking.
When this,
Yeah,
when
okay.
this transfer is complete, we'll have $56,864 left in the
Well,
reserve.
thank you, though.
presuming we do this.
Presumably, we haven't even made a motion yet, so we've had, this group team does things a little upside down. We have our discussion and then we move the question.
So if you notice
No.
on the
Right.
back
Practice.
is the quote from Renatus, who's going to also do the setting up of the server. And that price is in there. And the Patriot Properties, which is the assessor's
Yeah.
software, their migration into the new server of their software.
So those two added together is 681.
Yes.
And, just to let everyone know, circling back kind of a little bit to our computer systems are relatively up to date now. Finally. They've been working diligently since we ended our finance committee things. They spent a ton of money, and hopefully we'll see some increases in the computer budget for maintenance of our computer systems. So, in the hope that this doesn't happen on another, off in the future. Because having something like that go down can be rather costly, in my opinion. Just like having a sharp pencil.
I'll make a motion to approve a transfer from the reserve fund account number 132 to account number 932 capital projects in the amount of $8,136 for the reasons as outlined on the request.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve a reserve fund transfer from account 132 in the amount of $8,136 to the capital account of 932. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That's unanimous. We're actually close to that. The next thing on...
Mr. Chairman, may I interrupt you for just a second?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
I was late because I had forgotten that there was a small reserve fund transfer, if you want to take it up now. or-
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Sure.
Pass it out to everyone.
So is this new business?
Oops.
50 cents, what?
Thank you.
Introduce everybody.
What's that?
Introduce everybody. for
Oh,
the
sure,
program.
okay. Yeah. Just to kind of go around the table, but mainly for the people in our audience. My name is William Drosine. I'm the chair of the Finance Committee. This is Jeff Noble, the vice chair. Tracy Cahalan?
Yeah.
Still? Okay. Tracy Cahalan. Mike Jerome. God, I'm under the influence. Chris Toomey. Chris Toomey. Karen Schmidt. Sandy Albano. Ken Walto. Susan Carol Lombardi. And our recording secretary, Susan.
Brittany Miller.
Brittany Miller. Looking at Susan, I go, Brittany, oh my God, what a long night.
Okay,
All right.
so, ready for this new item?
Yeah, let's, why don't you?
Looks like we have a new reserve fund transfer request relative to communications. I'll make a motion and then we can have a discussion. Motion to approve a request for transfer from the reserve fund account number 132 to account number 222 communications in the amount of $1,306.
What's that?
$7, I'm sorry, $1,307, sorry about that. And for the purpose as outlined on the request, and we will discuss that.
Second.
A motion's been made and seconded to transfer from the reserve fund, account number 132, in the amount of $1,307 to the account number 222 communications. Is there any discussion?
This is a request we received from the Sheriff's Department to pay for mutual aid backup when they have their Sheriff's Communication Center has to back up our communication center. Now, we've paid these bills in the past, we have not, we get them, and typically, the chief has taken these shared with the fire department. But this is the first time we've received a request for a formal agreement to pay this amount of money, and I guess we're going to get one every year. Because it's a formal request for an agreement, this becomes an intergovernmental agreement, which has to be approved by the select board. Nonetheless, I waited till we started with the budget sessions before I dealt with this, and I met last week with Gabby Tagliari, our communications director, and today with our police chief, Jeff Coe, and said, is this merited? And they both said, you know, without hesitation, yes, they do back us up, we help each other out, and we ought to pay this bill. So if you approve this, and I'm going to have it before the select board Monday night and ask them to appropriate this money, now instead of being buried in the chief's budget, it is more properly a communications department expense. So this will go into Gabby Tagliari's budget, and probably should have been her budget for next year as well. It was just approved by the select board last week. You haven't seen it yet.
So will this show up as a line item then on the communications budget sheet coming
There-
forward this year?
There will be a continuing appropriation according to this, and it'll come out each August, so we'll have to get a budget number, and Sandy may have a particular line item she would like to see that in. We'll do that.
So that'll be, that bud, well,
It
the
is-
budget has not been approved by finance yet.
By
but-
finance, and it'll be an amendment to the, well, we've approved the communications budget, but that's all tentative, we'll just add this line item to
Add
it.
this line item to
Yeah,
it?
yeah, and I'll call the sheriff, kind of get a
We're gonna
sense of
put
what
it
it'll be
into
next year.
2021?
It'll be in the 2021 budget
2021
approval.
budget.
It'll go into 2021 budget.
At
This
this
is for
amount,
this
Ken?
fiscal year. Well, roughly this amount. I'll try to get a sense of what it'll be in the coming fiscal year with the budget now.
Okay.
Communications.
I do have one kind of question about this. This is for a mutual aid thing,
Yeah,
am I correct?
yeah, so that's,
If this is a mutual aid thing, it's required under 911, why are they charging us? Because we don't charge them when we back them up.
and that's true when we have backed them up.
And that's the, and I'm not complaining about it, it just seems a little, I wanna say,
Yeah.
rather odd, more than inequitable.
Yeah, the city of Pittsville, in fact, if it's direct 911 calls and our 911 system goes down, that's done by the city of Pittsfield, but on all frequencies, fire, police, and other frequencies, the
Well, should
sheriff's
we-
department handles that.
Should we send a letter?
Well, that's
You-
kind of,
you know what I'm saying?
kind of where I was going with that,
Yeah.
is should we send them a letter and send them a bill?
Right.
It's,
I mean,
it's
it's
more of
like
a,
just
it's more of a,
wash.
you know, washout kind of thing, just, it's, that kind of seems, that kind of sounds like that's what's happening here, is there's kind of a, but it just seems rather odd to me. It's not like we, like the, well, what's it, the planning commission, they do
Yeah.
work for us, things of that nature.
I guess this also covers an antenna mounting, yeah.
Oh,
This covers Berkshire County, this includes the mountaintop antenna locations as well as communication equipment.
Yeah, so they
You're
probably,
saying
they may have to have a
dispatch
lease,
also, too.
they may have to have
So
a
it's saying
lease for that,
dispatch
so
too
it's
also,
sharing.
so it's
Yeah.
more than just 911.
Right.
Right.
No, it's more than 911, it's
Yeah.
just regular dispatch, because our 911 system goes down, Pittsfield picks us up.
But it's more, this is for dispatch services.
Right.
Right.
Yes, it's for dispatch.
Even though it says state 911 has mandated these agreements, it's covering a service that's not necessarily 911 oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right, it's the 911 department.
right.
What do other towns do?
You know what, I
Like
think,
Hinsdale, or do they get backed up with, by them
yeah,
also?
remember Hinsdale's in our system.
Hinsdale.
And some of Hinsdale's services, I think like ambulance, that's out in, when you get up into Peru, it's actually done by the sheriff's department. Most of the towns in smaller towns in Berkshire County are actually dispatched by the sheriff's department. We are one of the smaller regional centers. And, you know, Dalton, Williamstown, Adams all have their own communications. Now, I think Adams did away with this communication center.
Well, I don't really have a problem with it, it's just more, we just kind of raised a bunch of questions.
question.
when they did.
Maybe
I
call the
just,
sheriff and
it
ask.
seems,
him to talk to
seems
him
kind
about
of,
it.
Yeah, if it's good goose, it's good for the gander.
well, yeah, let's
Yeah.
send a bill to them, just saying.
But how do you even figure out
We
the
get-
dollar amount?
Well, that's
I don't
what
know how
I-
it works.
That's
I
what
don't
I-
know.
how
That's
they
my
arrive
real,
at that?
that's kind of my
I don't know
real
how they
problem with
calculate
this,
it.
is, well, you know, where's the number coming
Did
from?
they see
They
how
just
many
like, oh,
lines
here it
it
is,
is?
let's go pull it out of the
It's
sky.
vague.
You know?
It's right down to
It's-
pennies.
They got it down to the penny, so where'd they
I
come up
know.
with it?
Yeah.
So,
So maybe we could get,
Back up.
in the future, a breakout of what the cost of the
Yeah.
antenna portion is. That could be the bulk of it,
Sure.
for all we know.
I mean, if you're not happy with this, by all means, table it and I'll get more information.
we rounded the number off, I don't really see a problem with it, it's more of a, you know, geez.
Maybe a breakout would help.
Yeah, we'll get a
Yeah,
break.
Yeah,
I
it's
should
like-
table
I-
it till we get a breakdown.
Make a motion.
I make a motion that we table this transfer.
until receipt of a backup.
Until we see backup information on how they arrived at that dollar amount.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to transfer the motion that's on the table.
Table.
The motion to table, there's a motion made and seconded to table the motion. And all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It is unanimous.
You need this right away? Did you need this right away?
I will not sign that. No, we have our numbers and we have that.
Are you even asking those questions?
We might just have to get this
Send you a letter?
paid, we might just have to.
You can send me a form.
Just the clerk.
Just send them,
Formal letter.
I'd
I'll
ask
see.
them when you go get a breakdown. We're gonna be sending
Yeah.
you.
Going out of business for $1,300.
I mean, just.
No,
We give a breakdown to the
Okay,
town.
Yes. Does fire come through there? Okay.
You can't ask that question. Yeah, well,
I can't.
I didn't.
That's a fair question. Okay. All right, so we'll take that up, probably at our first budget meeting. Is that good?
That's okay.
All right.
It's gonna happen pretty soon.
Well, that's what, now, first and foremost, yeah, we're gonna talk, the rest, probably the rest of the meeting is gonna be about our schedule for our budget deliberations and just about the final spreadsheet from last fiscal year, from fiscal year 2020, just to clear up our budget. Karen's been diligently working to get our spreadsheet up to date. Ours was a little off, and the reason it was off was because if you recall, back in the June, we had a June special town meeting, and we had called a finance committee meeting, and we were unable to produce a quorum for that. The meeting was the next day, I believe. So, at any rate, we had to update a bunch of numbers in this. So if you have a spreadsheet, you'll find that the numbers are different. And the reason for those numbers being different, and I actually have, when I get back home, I will send you a highlighted version of this. And I'll make sure there's an attachment to this. I have no idea where that just to let you know, everybody, I have no idea where that email, I went and looked for the email. I can't even find the email. I have
Okay.
no idea. So I sent you a second one with the.
Yeah, I got it.
You did get the second
Yeah, I
one?
got it.
Okay, good.
And the highlighted part, just so that you know, is why it's highlighted is because I was showing what we updated from that June 24th, I think it was, town meeting.
Yeah.
You know, showing you where the accounts were, what accounts were affected. The other thing that I'm having just a little bit of an issue with is my debt exclusions number, which is a little off. And there, we did have to add one account. We broke down in the 710 category, Dalton Division.
Yeah, we took that out. It's debt excluded, but we took it
Debt.
away from the payments for the old school. Pay off the bonds, which was the old school. And this
So I
one.
broke that out. So you'll have Dalton Division Road, 24,000, and then you'll have the school part, and then that. So that got broken down. And then I just got to break the interest down in the treasury department. So it's just,
I got it, Ken. All right, so anyways, if you would, at your leisure, just take a look at that. The numbers that you see in the FY20 for when we start deliberations, and you will get them,
you get a wrong one.
you will probably get these, that we'll move them over and then send in the 20s.
So the idea is this closes out 19.
Yes,
Correct.
this closes out the work we did in 2019. The next thing is, the select board has begun their approval of the budgets that Ken and Sandy are so diligently getting prepared for us. And they've actually gotten an early start on things. First off, what day of the week is probably best for everyone within this group? Wednesday's pretty good? Wednesdays kind of work, they always say, Wednesdays always seem to work pretty well for everybody. And does the 5:30 time slot work?
Yes.
All right, just to let everyone know, I will be bringing in some snacks at 5 o'clock.
Yes.
so that we can, well, the meetings are 2 hours long, so we'll have some snacks get started, and then, because it's right at dinner time, so I just kind of have something here for everybody. So, all right, just to kind of, no, yeah, and no cost to the taxpayers on that. That's all
Is
taken
there
care
anything
of.
everybody likes in
Now-
particular? Anything to drink ever?
Yeah, well, we'll go over after what, we'll go after that. Now, do we think we'll be able to get started the last week of February with budgets? Is that too quick? Well, we can go to March. I was planning March.
We've got 19 from last week, right?
Yeah,
And
they've got, they're
then,
Bunch of
moving,
them.
and
they're
then,
starting to move.
Okay.
We'll be
All right,
moving
good
pretty
with
well
that.
along by the end of February, so
Oh,
we'll have lots of fun.
Giddy up. I like the sound of that.
so should, you wanna start earlier, Bill?
Want to start on the 19th?
Sure.
Does everybody
Yeah.
kind of like that idea?
Yeah.
Get going early?
March or February?
Okay.
February 19th?
February 19th. Be here at 5:30.
February 26th?
And if you'd like, like I say, I have it all set. Somebody's gonna be bringing us a little snack at 5 o'clock, so we're not all sitting here in front of the camera eating something. So we'll get started a little early, all right?
All right.
And then, now, we wanna try to we'll try to keep it to 4 meetings. I prefer 3, but we'll have a 4th meeting. So, do you wanna do them like we've been doing them, once a week?
Yeah.
Go, instead of skipping?
Yeah.
How's that fit with your schedule? I know there's some sort of a thing that occurs that you have to attend, Sandy.
school at
Yeah.
UMass. And it is the 16th through the 18th.
Oh, we're gonna be all done, we're gonna be out of here, I think. The only thing
That's
that
March,
might,
you mean?
that might hold us up is the school budget.
That's what I'm thinking we should set.
That might be the only thing, the school budget, I think we
Or no,
usually,
it's the week before.
we usually struggle to get it when we're down at the end of March. We may have to just convene a quick meeting for that, we may have to have a
Yeah, yeah.
special, once I get the information, yes.
You gotta be careful, because I think sometime in March, you gotta have the final numbers in. Do you know what date?
Yeah, that's usually the end of the week, or the end of the month, I'm sorry.
All
Yeah.
right, because Ken's got the schedule all done.
Yeah, the last full week of the month.
Yeah.
We should finish up, the select board should finish up by the 16th, just like that.
Wow, cool. I'm liking the sound of
You'll have
that.
warrant articles and stuff to go through.
Right.
And that.
Oh, yeah, we'll have,
Later.
we'll probably have a meeting, we'll have one other meeting, but it'll be a relatively quick one,
In March.
in March. Well, we're gonna have
You're talking
2 meetings in March and 2 meetings in February at this point.
But after the budgets are done, there's warrant articles, right?
Yeah,
Ken?
you have to do all the
And you have
warrant
to
articles
approve
and that.
the motions to all them.
Right,
Should we
and that's
break it out
generally
too?
down around the 18th, isn't it, of
So
March?
we're saying the same thing, move it
Usually
up
the
a week.
next week.
Move it up a week?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking too.
No,
Just give us some breathing room,
I don't
I
know.
think we have enough time.
okay?
Yeah, then we only got 1 week, right?
changes those.
If
You
we're
got
going to the
Oh,
18th.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll go, let's make our first meeting on the 19th of February. The second one will be on the 26th.
And fourth,
The 4th and the 11th?
FinCom.
Oh, wait a minute. Will I be back? Yeah.
Actually, although that used to be because we were in a bit of a hurry, we're getting ahead of the schedule. We could go to the 11th, or we can do one on the 5th. We're not up against the tight
Yeah,
timeline.
you might need one on the 18th if the select board doesn't finish up. Some of it depends, of course, school district's final budget, and sometimes the numbers come in late for health insurance. We expect to get those mid to late February, that's what we're being told.
You wanna skip the 11th and do one the 18th?
Warrant articles and all that stuff done early. If they don't meet that
We may have-
fourth week of March like they normally do.
Was that? I didn't catch it.
I don't know if you recall, but
Yeah,
after the school week is when you used to have 2 meetings, Wednesday and Thursday. And on Wednesday and Thursday,
Which is that?
you went over the final whatever adjustments to budgets were, as well as the what's going to town meeting articles and motions.
right. I remember
So,
we did
Because that goes all in, remember, that all goes in the report. The
So that
town's
would
got-
have to be after March 18th.
Finance committee.
After March
supplement.
18th.
After March 18th.
Yeah, after the 18th.
It was usually the very next week, that was 2 days long, but it doesn't mean you're gonna have 2 days long, since all of the other stuff seems to be getting done ahead of time.
Right, well, that was kind of the way I was thinking, is we would
Right.
get, do we think we can get all of the budgets, get all of the stuff that we have?
Yeah.
You know, our standard budgets, there's all kinds of.
Could very well be
We
done
could
by
get-
the 11th.
We could get those done by the 11th and then skip the 18th and maybe reconvene on the 25th.
Yeah.
Some of that depends on when we have to get the materials to the printer. Usually the finance committee supplement can go a little later, so we'll probably be okay. But I'll kind of keep you informed about that.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
reassess and.
Right.
Yeah, well,
And that's where
we'll
that's
know
what
a little
goes in the
better on-
supplement, right, Ken, is the warrant articles
Okay.
and all that stuff.
What we'll
All the
do
detail.
is,
Yeah.
Right.
I will put a meeting, let's put a meeting in for Thursday the 5th. If, just in case, that's just in case I can cancel that.
To the
meeting.
board meeting.
Just so that we can make sure all of the budgets that we've received, other than the couple of hangars that we're gonna have, we'll take care of those on the 25th.
But we're not,
Or the 18th, let's say the 18th. I would rather do the 18th.
forget the 5th and do the 18th, what, is that what you're saying?
No, let's, so that we can, it generally takes us 4 meetings to get all of the work done.
Just to get normal
Right.
budget.
Well, you're scheduling 5 now.
Well, I got
There's
1, 2,
3.
3. The 18th would be the 4th.
And skip the
The
11th.
thought process is if for whatever reason we get hung up for those first three meetings, to have one already posted for the 5th. That's all. That's just one of those,
Why, if you're doing the 4th and 18th?
well, we can get it all. I just didn't want to, I guess I didn't want to take a chance of having
Too much on the 18th.
too much on the 18th,
Oh.
was my thought.
Oh.
Because that's what happened last year. We had way too much in that last, we were here
Oh.
at
I'm
what,
gonna be at the 18th.
9 o'clock that night?
Well,
And
Of
that's
course,
my
we had a lot of
budget.
other things going on at the same time, but.
but you're suggesting that we
Would you
won't
like
wrap
me
up
to
on
give
the
you a copy
18th
of the
either?
latest schedule I gave to the select board? It'll take you 2 minutes to run it all.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right.
Okay. Sandy's saying she could.
Let me know.
you can make the-
Yeah, I
that's
said,
what we
well,
were
Sorry about meeting dates, right?
yeah, we're gonna talk about meeting dates and, I was thinking about
I
maybe
don't know that, no.
taking, having a motion to adopt that, so, you know, that's fine, you
Yeah,
got that.
yeah.
Because then,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll have you updated.
Sorry, that's it. Vamos.
And there was one other thing that I had to go over. Can't remember what it was. Oh, organization, thank you. Organization of the board. Jeff will be handling the town service, just the general budget. That's, you'll see it, it's the first portion of your spreadsheet. And then insurance and retirement, that will be part, well, it's the general government, it's down the bottom, the stripe on the bottom, his ends up the general government. Generally, Mike, you work with Jeff on that, do you want to continue?
I will, yes.
Okay, well, and then the next one, this is the one that can be a bit of a, because just to let everyone know, on these budgets, with these committees, I'd really like to have the committees, for some of the larger budgets, meet with the writer of the budget if we can. Like, just to get so the committee, a person on the committee has a feel for what's going on in the budget from the person that's doing the work. And then the highway safety, we had Tracy, Karen, Chris, would you like to be in the highway safety committee?
Sure.
Okay. And Susan, did you want to work with the general government group?
Sure, wherever you need it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because you've had your hands, I will handle the education side of this unwillingly, but I will handle the education side
Do you
of
want
this.
somebody to be with you on that as well?
Would you like to, Chris, would you like to work with me on this school instead?
No.
No? Okay. No, that's fine, that's fine, that's why I'm asking. It's an ask, not a tell. It's more of an ask. No, I can do it, I can handle it. Terry's can handle it too, so. It was just because I sit on the, I haven't been there, but because I sit on the 7-town advisory committee, I don't think they even convene a meeting sometimes, so at this point, I'm kind of inclined to think I'll just sit in on one of their budget meetings and see what's going on. So that's about all I'm planning on doing.
I'll
Sitting
do
in.
that with you.
Oh, is that okay? I didn't
Sure.
wanna,
Yeah.
okay, I'll stay in touch with
Okay.
you on that.
All right, and Tracy and I are gonna do the highway and police and all of that
Yep,
kind of
again.
stuff. All right. Okay.
Nuts and bolts of that. You know what, Susan? Why don't you give Tracy and Karen a hand on that? 'Cause I wanted to, which would you prefer? You have a choice. I'm gonna give you a choice. How's that sound?
So you want me to switch over to,
The highway safety?
Highway?
Yeah,
Chris is coming off of there?
yeah, Chris will be coming with me.
Okay.
What I might do is on the website, I might put next to your names the committees that you're on.
Definitely.
Is that okay? Is that
Yeah,
all right
yeah.
with everyone? Okay.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, 'cause usually it doesn't take, because there's so many tiny budgets in that, in the general government. There's so many, it's just a lot of little dinky budgets. It doesn't really require a lot of excess work. There is, I'd like to just, I'll talk to you about it
Okay.
at the end, about the budgets I'd like to have you have, if you can. If you can, if you
Yeah,
can't, it
that
is
way,
what
yeah.
it is.
Okay, so the 22 and 25th. Bill, that's where they prep the final report
Mhm. What's
of
that?
ATM articles and ballots. It's Friday the 20th to the 25th.
So you see the front side is the schedule for departments to present. The ones that we've already done,
Yeah.
as of Monday, it's either light,
Yeah.
and I rearrange this as budgets come in, but we're trying to finish up by March 9th. In reality, it'll probably go to the 16th. You know, things always get pushed back, particularly highway budgets this time of year. Then on the reverse side shows you the schedule. We have to keep to meet the deadlines for town meeting.
Thank you.
Initial draft of the ATM? Okay. Text draft to the ATM.
Well, if we do this,
Well, we will need to go to the 11th regardless, because they won't have the final budgets until March. Excuse me, they won't have the final budgets until March, so we have to go to the 11th no matter what. So why don't we, instead of starting on the 19th, why don't we start on the 26th? Unless everybody's compelled to, like, giddy up and let's do it kind of thing. That's, or even take a
Skip
week
the
off.
5th And do the 11th.
That'd work.
Well, yeah, why don't we do, yeah, that's,
You wanna do
thank you,
first?
Sandy, that's a good idea.
First 2 weeks in February?
And then, yeah, and that finishes up. Yeah, yeah, then we're not cramming the whole thing together.
So you do the last 2 weeks in February, then get to the 11th?
Yeah, well, we'll do the last 2 weeks in February,
Yeah.
and then the 4th and the 11th.
4th and the 11th?
Yeah. And then hopefully we can,
We come in there, select what has to finish it up.
March 17th.
So,
Yeah, see, on March, Tuesday's warrant articles and questions to the clerk. So we'll have an ATM warrant articles on the, yeah, we'll have that approved on the 11th, so we'll be in good
Mhm.
shape.
16th.
We've got town meetings scheduled there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what we usually do.
Every
So if we get,
Wednesday.
the real cool thing is if we can, we get down to the 4th, we may be able to skip the 11th. Pretty cool. Fair final report on the 20th.
23rd, the select board approves the warrant articles, non-financial warrant articles, so there's still,
Well, that puts some heat on Ken, huh,
Tracy.
for the 18th? Ken, there's some heat on you if we go for the 18th.
I'm not gonna be there,
So how do we want-
just so you know.
It's a week later,
Okay.
so I'm thinking, we'll get together and maybe try to,
Talk to Jeff and Tom.
You want,
yeah.
well, I guess the question lies with, do we skip the 11th and just simply go to the 18th?
Well, let's see where we're at.
Yeah, we'll see. See how it goes. 'Cause like I said, if I see, I can cancel 48 hours in advance. All I do is just go in and push a button and it cancels it, so,
Okay.
yeah. Let's do that.
So we've got the 19th, the 26th, the 4th, the 11th. I have a possible on the 25th.
On the, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, let's do it. I like the possible on the 25th.
So 19, 26, 4th, 11th,
19, 26, 4th, 11th.
and 19th, Thursday the 19th, or Wednesday the 18th.
We can do, can you,
And you can't do these.
Sandy won't be here for the 18th. That's just gonna be looking at the, it's gonna be stuff we've already done, so we won't have to,
Yeah.
we won't be,
It comes
Looking at
soon.
what? The articles and the motions?
yeah, the articles and motions, that's all we're gonna be looking at on that night. So that's,
That'll be the first view.
trying to avoid that 25th meeting is what I was trying to avoid.
Yeah, what do I have?
Trying to avoid the
I've got you
25th.
wrapping it up on,
I was trying to avoid the
The
25th
printer,
meeting
it's
is
gotta
what
be
I'm
in the
trying to.
printer on the 26th,
Well,
so.
can we do another evening that week of the 15th, March 15th, other than the 18th? If we wanted Sandy there? Maybe a- or- Yeah, yeah.
So can you do it in the-
That's pushing it, Sam?
Not for me, but
yeah, for us to get done, normally the way things happen.
everything, right.
I think we'll, I'm not sure, but that's a, if you notice on this schedule,
Yeah.
the week of the 16th is kind of a fallback week. So whatever revisions we have in final approval, so the select board will be meeting on the 16th to do that. It's a fallback week, there's nothing scheduled for that week. And that puts the finance committee, a tentative meeting for the finance committee that week, and that's why I have it tentatively scheduled for the 18th and 19th. If there's anything to be done. Now,
Right.
in the best of
okay.
all possible worlds, the select board will finish up on the 9th, and finance committee can finish up that week as well, which would be the 11th. But I would guess, just based on
What I'm,
past process, I would be doing something in the week of
yeah, it's,
the 16th.
So what about the 19th?
let's plan,
Do it
all right,
about
let's
19th.
let's plan a FinCom meeting on the 18th of March. Make it,
19th.
let's do the 19th of March. That
It's
gives-
on a Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it, yes, let's do that. That should be our final meeting for the budget season. That gives Ken a chance to kind of, whatever.
If we don't need it.
If we end up not needing it,
Right.
we'd end up not
Right.
needing it, but if we do, we'll have it.
We got 5 minutes.
Right. We have,
Yes.
presently, we have 5 meetings, but it's pretty likely we won't need all 5. We generally only have 4.
I thought you were gonna skip the 5th.
We are.
We are
We're doing the 4th and the 11th.
4th, 11th, and 19th. But the 11th is it's pretty likely the 11th is gonna go away. The 19th will definitely be there because we have, because of information coming from Ken on the ATM warrant and all of that.
Mhm.
So we're kind of stuck with the 19th because of the timing of everything. So we may be able to skip the 11th if we can.
Okay.
All right, how's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, entertain a motion to adopt that schedule.
So moved.
So move. Motion's been made to adopt a
Oh, I got you.
Finance Committee budget deliberation meetings, beginning with February 19th at 5:30 PM. The next meeting will be on February 26th at 5:30 PM. The next meeting will be March 4th at 5:30. March 11th at 5:30, and then the next meeting will be March 19th at 5:30. Those will all be here in the Crane Room. That last meeting, as everyone would know, is a Thursday. That will be a Thursday. And some of those meetings may be subject to change depending on how much work we get done. If we get our work done quickly, we'll be in pretty good shape. All right, is there any further discussion on the meetings? Seeing or hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Seeing, hearing none, that passes unanimously. And I think that's it. I will get everything posted on those, and Tracy, I'll be in touch with you on the school.
Chris.
Chris, Tracy.
It's okay, though. Okay.
We'll bring name tags next time.
Yes. Thanks.
Name tags next time.
What's that?
We'll make name tags next time.
So I agree. What's it? Yes, if you will, please.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Karen Schmidt to be the clerk of the finance committee.
Second?
Are you willing to accept the nomination?
Yes, I will accept the nomination.
Motion's been made to nominate Karen Schmidt as the clerk of the finance committee. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? That is unanimous, thank you. We set you up.
That was obvious.
All right.
Can I put my books organized?
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second. Second.
So, moved. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That's unanimous.